1974, from democracy to extremism. Conflation of state and religion, the dark side of Pakistan's political history. 1974 proceedings, almost 4 decades on. The inside story of the secret proceedings, denial of religious freedom. 1974, from democracy to extremism.
Assalamu alaikum. Today is 7th September, just another day on calendar. But today is a significant day and a milestone in the journey to extremism in a country known to the whole world now for mostly the wrong reasons. That country is Pakistan. Today, exactly 39 years ago, hate was legalized in a democratic way. At least democratic on the face of it. Yes, it was in the same Pakistan which was conceptualized and founded as a safe haven for all. On this very day, on 7th September 1974, a democratically elected parliament decided to practically expel a peaceful community from society. It was a beginning of a new era, an era of modern extremism. This is a story which begins on this day where Parliament in 1974 opened a Pandora's box of extremism, intolerance, hatred, and exclusion of its own citizens. The citizens who were the loyal founders, builders and maintainers of peace, loyalty, progress and success of a new nation. Now they were the outcast. Here is a story of 1974 when the nation moved from hope to despair. Also this day, the foundations were laid for a community whose persecution and discrimination is perhaps incomparable in the modern day. This new series will cover the journey from democracy to extremism. 14th August 1947, the Islamic Republic of Pakistan is proclaimed. The Muslims of the subcontinent are full of hopes and aspirations.
I'm looking forward to making Pakistan as one of the greatest nations of the world.
Muhammad Ali Jinnah, the founder of Pakistan, expresses his vision of a secular state.
You are free. You are free to go to your temples. You are free to go to your mosques or to any other places of worship in this state of Pakistan. You may belong to any religion or caste or creed. That has nothing to do with the business of state. We are starting with this fundamental principle that we are all citizens and equal citizens of one state.
That speech set the tone, if you like, for the development of a liberal and multi-faith Pakistan in which everybody would be able to worship in the way that they wanted.
Changes are made to the constitution. Now all citizens still remain equal except Ahmadis. Islamic mullahs significantly influenced Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, the Prime Minister of Pakistan, to declare the Ahmadiyya Muslim community outside the pale of Islam. 7th September 1974. The Second Amendment was made to the Constitution of Pakistan.
A person who does not believe in the absolute and unqualified finality of the prophethood of Muhammad, peace be upon him, the last of the prophets, or claims to be a prophet in any sense of the word or of any description whatsoever after Muhammad, peace be upon him, or recognizes such a claimant as a prophet or a religious reformer, is not a Muslim for the purposes of the constitution or law.
His vision was really something that couldn't be accomplished. And as it turned out, things went in the wrong direction. And the rights that people had, or should have had, in accordance with that speech, to worship as they wanted and to develop their own faith, gradually became more and more circumscribed and limited as the history of Pakistan developed.
Constitutional governance now globally has a history perhaps of some 200 odd years. And the grammar of constitutional governance is that whatever differences exist in a society, to provide a legal sort of umbrella over it so that there's uniformity of treatment. The only thing that has a change that happens over the last 200 years is that if somebody for some reason is relatively excluded from the protection of that umbrella, to bring them in. An example would be, say, for example, the slavery institution in the US. They weren't quite within the protections of the umbrella, so let's bring them in. Women don't have the right to vote, let's bring them in. So in that sense, I believe that the Pakistan's the 74 phenomena is a unique, never before and never after, anywhere in the world that which would claim to have constitutional governance and then use constitutional, or at least formally constitutional means to exclude somebody from protections of the Constitution.
वो तुमको हुसैन बनाते हैं और आप यजीदी बनते हैं.
1984. 10 years later, new amendments followed in the military dictatorship of President Zia-ul-Haq. The vision of a secular state was destroyed finally when the religious fanatics overpowered the law.
Persons of Qadiani group, etc., calling himself a Muslim or preaching or propagating his faith. Any person of the Qadiani group or the Lahori group who call themselves Ahmadis or by any other name, who, directly or indirectly, poses himself as a Muslim, or calls or refers to his faith as Islam, or preaches or propagates his faith, or invites others to accept his faith by words, either spoken or written, or by visible representations, or in any manner whatsoever outrages the religious feelings of Muslims, shall be punished with imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 3 years, and shall also be liable to a fine.
Mr. Jinnah believed that he could set up a Pakistan that was fair to everyone. Sadly, that hasn't happened.
Fanaticism entered a new era, as it was now endorsed by the parliament. Persecution of Ahmadis is made lawful. Now the law prevents Ahmadis from claiming themselves to be Muslims. Not only this, Ahmadis are also deprived of the right to act like Muslims and practice the Islamic teachings. Since then, hundreds of Ahmadis have been beaten, tortured, imprisoned, and even killed in Pakistan just for one crime.